right, thank you. The first thing I'm going to share about is information about prayer walks around and inside and outside of school buildings. Um, I was really blessed with chapter members who were on fire about doing prayer walks and laying hands on desks and on teachers' doors and just praying over every place that we could get into, including the locker rooms. And we did it in three different ways. One way was we walked the perimeter. I had a friend, my art teacher friend, and I would walk around the perimeter of the building. And sometimes we'd walk in the hallways and we would consider it exercise, but we would pray over the school and the students and anything that we knew had been coming up, anything our spirit led us to pray over, we prayed over. I figure if God can bring down the walls of Jericho by walking around it, he can fight in spiritual warfare around a building with a couple teachers walking around and praying in his name. The second way we did it before school, and we would either do it before the school year or early in the morning or later in the evening, we would do a prayer walk. And we would split into three teams because we had three wings in our building. And one wing would go down the sixth grade hall, or one group would go down the sixth grade wing, one group would go down the seventh grade, eighth grade wing, and one group would go down an electives hall with the gymnasium and the locker rooms. And we would lay hands on doors if the teacher's door was shut. If the teacher's door was open, we'd go in and lay hands on their desk, on the students' desks. We would pray over the students. If we knew that there were students in that classroom, we would pray over them and their lives and pray that God be with them and that our teachers be a light for our students. The third way we did it, we did a community prayer walk. And that was a big endeavor. We had a little bit of networking to do. We spoke with the youth pastors we had in our churches, and we were lucky enough that our youth pastors have a ministerial alliance. And in that alliance meeting, they would talk amongst each other, and they themselves would invite prayer warriors from their churches. And they came in and did the praying over the desks, over the doorways, over the hallways, over the bathrooms, because we know there's a lot of spiritual warfare in a bathroom when those students have that moment of privacy and they're hurting and they go to the bathroom to have their moments. We know spiritual warfare happens there. And so we would go in every spot we could and have those community prayer warriors come in. And we would provide for them little prayer cards. And how we involved our teacher staff was we actually walked around the staff with different verses and different prayers that they could lay in a little card on a desk, knowing that that student needed that prayer. It could be a prayer over anxiety. It could have been a prayer over fear. It could have been prayer over struggles in the home. Just about anything that you could think of, we had a little prayer card. And that way, the prayer members, the warriors, would come in and pray specifically over that space for that student. And it was a really beautiful thing. We did that for about an hour and a half, made our rounds through the entire building, and I will tell you that the climate, the spiritual climate in that building lifted during that prayer walk, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So those are the three ways we did prayer walks in our buildings, and um, they're all different levels of difficulty and investment and preparation. Um, at every one of them, God strengthens with His power.
Wow, that is just so inspiring. That's incredible. I'm thinking that during pre-service, there could be a little time where we can get together. Spring break, Christmas break, the building's open. So I love all of those. Those are great.